When our next guest looks at a map, he is not focused on major roadways that are highlighted for all of us to use. He's looking for back roads, more or less forgotten. It's time for an author spotlight with Dean Shirley of Shippensburg. His book series, the No Highways Tour, are meant to inspire travelers to take the road less traveled. His first book recounted his East Coast trip, while his second in the series focused on a trip out west. So the No Highways Tour, tell me about this tour. How long do the two tours at this point. So how long do these tours take? How do you tackle this?
I usually spend about a month, anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks on each trip. So the first one, I went from Maine to Florida in 28 days. And then when I went out west, I spent a month in Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and about 15 minutes in New Mexico.
Okay, what's your problem, huh? Why don't you like highways? They get us where we need to go fast.
The first trip, actually, the genesis for that was a road trip my brother and I took when he got back from Afghanistan. We drove all the way to Key West, but we spent all of our time on I-95. And I thought, oh, I'd love to go down. I have family in Florida, but every time we go, we take 95, and there's so many cool things.
You don't see anything,
exactly,
right?
like, and 95 gets boring after a while. And then the trip kind of grew from a PA to Florida to a Maine to Florida, basically based on, in Maine, you have the easternmost point, and then in Florida at Key West is the southernmost point.
And so from there, then you did a West Coast one.
Right.
And that was the Colorado, you said Colorado, Utah, and
Arizona.
And Arizona. That was fraught with a little bit of mishap, though, right?
Yeah, that started off with a little bit of a false start. I went out, there's an event every year in Moab called Easter Jeep Safari. And I went out, and on my way there, I got caught in a 30-inch blizzard in Denver.
Oh,
so I got stranded on the eastern side of the Rockies, so I wasn't able to make it. Had some mechanical problems, ended up turning around, coming home, doing some repairs, and then was like, never give up. So I went back out, and then I spent just a month kind of boondocking around the States.
I'm so curious, how are you able to take so much time away from quote unquote real life and hit the road?
This is real life for me. I'm a full-time photographer and author. I freelance, I write the books, I sell them. I have a blog that I author pretty much about every week. And then I also submit articles to magazines and those kinds of things. And then when I'm at events, I teach classes.
I mean, you're really the real deal. Again, the photography is yours. We were talking about the Jeep. The Jeep just keeps chugging along, but out on the road, you have to make lots of repairs right out there on the road.
Yeah, I do. Like I was telling you earlier, I carry all my own tools. I do all my own repairs. So the lift kit, I put that on. You know, we did the bumpers. A buddy of mine helped me with the gears. The trailer is an old Army trailer. Got that for $500. Got the cap off Craigslist for $50. There's only $1,200 in that thing. And
wow.
I call it my poor man's teardrop because the teardrop style trailers are really popular right now. And an entry-level one is about $6 grand. Don't quite have that budget. And one of my mantras is every dollar I spend on my rig or my kit is one less dollar I can spend in fuel. So
that's really cool because it gets you get to do the real stuff, right?
Exactly.
The real stuff while you're doing it in the first place. Where can folks buy your book? And also, what do you hope they really take from the book? Or what is it with the love of traveling for you? You know, what do you hope this inspires folks to do?
The books are available on my website. If you go to eastcoastoverlandadventures.com and you put the word store in front of it, you can get the books on there. They're available either in print or in a digital ebook copy because those are real popular right now. And the goal is the books are to be more of a guidebook. It's not necessarily my story. It's about kind of the places I went. If people want my story, they can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, they can read the blog, that kind of stuff. But the books are meant to be kind of a guide to encourage people to say, hey, there's this cool place, you should go. And the two best things I've ever heard is somebody opening the book and going, wow, I didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
And then I've actually had a friend of mine, he uses my books to plan family vacations. So even though I'm kind of doing it the hardcore Jeep way, he takes the family minivan out, loads up the kids, and they go, and they just kind of pick a couple pages and say, hey, this is where we want to go for our vacation.
Let's go see this. Yeah, that's really neat. Gosh, this is so up my husband's alley. He loves this. Thank you so much. It was great having you on the show today.